Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about some tips for writing and some writing essentials that I can't live without. So if you're new here, my name is Sukanti and I make content about history, culture, and lifestyle. If you're into that kind of stuff, please stick around. So I'm really into writing, and if you've seen some of my other videos, you'll see that a lot of my videos are highly scripted. One of the reasons actually why I started a YouTube channel was to share my writing in kind of a video essay format. So writing is definitely a part of my everyday life, whether it's kind of more casual journaling or more creative writing, like the writing I do for this channel. So I'm just going to share a couple things that I do that I feel helps my writing, and a couple things that I utilize that helps me to keep writing every single day. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the 5-minute journal. So I have one here. This whole section is not about having to buy the 5-minute journal, but kind of the essence of what it is, and hopefully it's something that you can take into your daily journaling practice. So the reason why I like the 5-minute journal so much is because I find that it really helps to clarify your goals or your intentions for the day. Like I said, I'm a big journaler, and sometimes actually when I'm on like a really long journaling tear of 10 pages, I may have gotten a lot of stuff out, but I can feel almost a little bit fuzzy-headed afterwards. What I found with the 5-minute journal is it does the exact opposite. After I do it, it basically makes me feel very clear-headed and very much ready for my day, which I think is why it's become so popular. So I'll show you the inside. It's basically a template that you can follow every day, and in the morning you're supposed to write 3 things that you're grateful for, 3 things that would make today great, a daily affirmation, and then at the end of the day you write 3 highlights of the day and what you learned today. I find myself really looking forward to doing this every morning and every evening. It just helps me really kind of center myself for the day and also kind of wrap my day up with gratitude and kind of seeing the value of the day. I really like how it's guided. I really like how every page is the same. You're doing the same thing every day. It's a really nice routine. And again, you don't have to go out and buy this. You can just commit to doing these daily prompts and writing them into your own, affordable journal every day if that's what you want to do. So the next one is having a journal with page numbers. So I have mine right here. I got it off of Amazon, obviously, and sadly, what to do. And it's really nice. Anyway, I'm actually just really loving having a journal with page numbers. I've never had a journal with page numbers before, and I never thought much of it. I'm like, why do I need page numbers for my journal? But I made an amazing discovery a few days ago about having page numbers. What's really cool about having page numbers is, again, this is a new journal, so there's not much in here, but you can have a table of contents and you can actually write down kind of like almost a chapter heading and the page that it's on. Like for instance here I've got cooking and recipe ideas on page 5. So whenever I'm like, oh, I wrote down those like recipes or cooking ideas that I wanted to try, where is that? In the past I would have had to look through every single page of my journal. But now I know it's on page 5, and that is so cool. So I was actually telling my husband about this, and I told him, please, like next time you get a journal, get one with page numbers. This is really cool. And he actually told me that that's what his spiritual teacher used to do. He used to have all these journals, and then he would basically in the front of the journal, after the journal was filled up, he would write all the topics of the contents of the journal, so that he gave lots of classes in the past, and he would use these as kind of reference books for his classes. It actually inspired another one of the writing tips that I have today, so you'll hear more about him later. Anyway, so I'm just really loving These page numbers, I know it sounds crazy, but it's really revolutionary for me because I can never find what I'm looking for, especially if it's handwritten. It's, you know. Okay, and for me also, this green journal, this is my daily journal where I am doing my kind of daily casual personal journaling. This is a place where I am writing diary entries, but a lot of times also lists. I'm a list person. I put all my lists in here. I'm not going to show you my lists because they're personal, but yeah, I put all my lists and all my little diary entries in here, and I really like it. I do it every day for the most part, and it just helps me feel really connected to myself. And yeah, I'm really, really happy with this one, and I probably will never go back to having a journal that doesn't have page numbers. Okay, the next is my other green journal, and as you can see, this one is like really beat up. So this is my, what would I call it? I guess I would call it my spiritual reflection journal. And this specifically is for my study of the Bhagavad-gita. So I'll show you my copy here. So these two things, they go together. So every day I read a chapter of Bhagavad-gita and I choose a verse and I copy it down and I do a little reflection in here. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because I found it really valuable. I found it very valuable to study in this way. And I think really for any book that you want to study deeply or develop a relationship with, you know, obviously I'm talking about scripture, but it's really something you could do with any kind of either spiritual book or nonfiction book or even kind of academic book if you wanted. I found that, yeah, having a daily practice of, copying down these quotes and then letting myself reflect on it has been really, really helpful and has helped me to kind of stay focused in my study of this book. So I would definitely recommend having like a separate notebook for any kind of book or scripture or spiritual text that you are reading. And the last one is something on my laptop. So the last one that I want to talk about is a software called Scrivener. And so this is a software that my husband showed me and that actually his spiritual teacher showed him. And it is a software for writers. I think it was kind of made for people who write books. And I'll put in some screenshots and also maybe a video of my screen here so you can see what it looks like. But I really love Scrivener. I don't know of any other software like it, but that's not saying much. I don't know so much about softwares. Maybe there is something like it, but I had never seen anything like it. And yeah, it's kind of a simple premise. It's just folders and documents and has like a sidebar where you can see where everything is. And for me, it has been so helpful because I feel like my Scrivener is basically like a visual version of the inside of my brain. When I first got it, actually, I went totally crazy and I think I spent like a whole day on there just creating a folder for every single one of my interests and then making all these little subfolders and then putting, you know, documents with like lists in each subfolder. And maybe I'm just a nerd or I have a complicated brain, but it was really cool to see all of my interests and all of the things that I think about and am interested in all in one place visually where I can see. But so far it's been really helpful for like storing things like recipes or also for my YouTube ideas, all sorts of different things. If I see a quote in a book that I find, you know, really interesting on a particular topic, I will put that in the folder of that particular topic and then it's there. So it's very similar to kind of my table of contents thing, but on a much grander scale. I have just found it so helpful. Also, as you can see, you can customize the colors, which I love. So I really like my pink and purple Scrivener, and yeah, I actually don't know what I would do without Scrivener. It has just really streamlined the way I organize my thoughts, the way I organize my writing. I can't really remember how expensive it is. I feel like when I bought it a few years ago, it was like a $50 flat fee, just one time only. But I can't really remember. Maybe it's changed since then. Anyway, I hope you like this short little video about my writing tools and tips. Hopefully you found it helpful, and please drop a comment below if you have any other writing tips or tools that you use that helps you to write more or helps you in organizing your writing. And I am actually going to be giving a journaling workshop in Brooklyn. I will put the details below. It'll be in August. I think it's August 12th. We're going to be doing some journaling in the park, and it'll be specifically journaling on self-realization. Okay, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.